Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today at the 2015 Future Mobility Conference here in Dubai. It's an honour and a pleasure to be here with key government officials, industry professionals and influential personalities to talk about something that is not only important to us as individuals, but also as a nation. I would like to start by thanking His Excellency Dr. Rashid Ahmed bin Fahd, Minister of Environment and Water in UAE, Chairman of ESMA Board of Directors, as well as ESMA themselves and the team for putting together this conference and for giving Al-Futtaim Motors this great speaking opportunity. The UAE is viewed as a visionary in the Arab world and indeed a global player in the development of environmental initiatives and standardisation. As a matter of fact, the UAE has developed multiple environmentally conscious plans to help propagate awareness of sustainable mobility. There have been several initiatives to do this, not least the UAE Vision 2021, which focuses on improving the quality of air, preserving water resources, increasing the contribution of clean energy, and implementing green growth plans, as well as reducing pollution from transport, the latter of which we've worked very closely with the concerned authorities to bring about ahead of timeline, and we are progressing very well in that respect. Similarly, UAE-based institutions like Masdar are on a mission to advance the clean energy industry in Abu Dhabi and around the world. Guided by the Abu Dhabi Economic Vision 2030, Masdar is acting as a catalyst for the economic diversification of the Emirates by pursuing clean, renewable energy development through investment in vehicles and technologies that will mature to power a more sustainable tomorrow. Global warming is a reality. We all know that. The whole world has to live with today. It's not a myth of decades ago. And we have to come to realise that unless we consciously make a collective effort to change our extreme dependency on fossil fuels, amongst other limited resources, then we risk leaving a planet depleted of resources and virtually uninhabitable for generations to come. The latest global warming data reveal that since 1979, land temperatures have increased about twice as fast as ocean temperatures. This can be the result of fossil fuel burning, which has produced about 3/4 of the increase in CO2 from human activity over the last 20 years. This leads us to our role as automotive leaders. For years, manufacturers have relied on fossil fuels to run their vehicles. It's the most popular combustible source of energy and one of the most efficient in terms of transport. However, there comes a point where it's no longer viable nor sustainable for us to tap into that resource socioeconomically. We brought electric vehicles into play, and although they prove to be an improvement in terms of CO2 emissions, we tend to forget that they still need charging. Are they a viable solution? Of course they are, but it's not the long-term solution that we're looking for. What about other combustible gases and conventional energy sources? Sure, we can use those, but what about air quality? What about pollution that causes? They don't burn as clean as petrol does, which translates into smog in overused areas. And this is not an answer to reducing our carbon footprint. As the world's leading manufacturer of cars, Toyota places immense pressure on itself to set the standard for sustainable mobility. This all started in 1997 with the launch of the Prius, now the world's most popular hybrid vehicle. Hybrid technology in car manufacturing might be new to some people in this region, but before I tell you why we believe so much that hybrid technology, let me briefly explain what hybrid cars are. Hybrid simply means two sources. In a nutshell, it's using two sources of energy to get a machine going. In the case of a vehicle, it's using a petrol engine and a battery-powered electric motor. Let's take a look at a tandem bicycle. A tandem is also a hybrid vehicle because it has two power sources, a person at the front and a person at the back. On a tandem, you have choices. The cyclist at the back can pedal alone, the cyclist in the front can pedal alone. or they can both pedal together. Whatever the combination, the chain and gears make sure that the available power is always provided to drive the wheel. The same is true with hybrid technology used in the Toyota and Lexus vehicles. Toyota hybrid technology is smart technology, telling the car when to switch between petrol and electric power, and when to combine both for maximum efficiency. Although a seemingly simple idea, Toyota's hybrid technology is far more advanced than the chain, gears and pedals of a tandem bicycle. It uses two motors in harmony with each other, a battery-powered electric motor and a petrol-driven combustion engine. And unlike the motors in many other hybrid cars, both the petrol and the electric motors can power the car alone, or in combination, guaranteeing maximum efficiency and minimizing fuel consumption and pollution from exhaust gases. However, there are many myths surrounding hybrid technology, such as the need to constantly recharge the car or low driving range. But now is the time to correct those misconceptions. Toyota and Lexus hybrid cars are able to charge while the petrol engine is running. How? It's through kinetic energy of the braking action that is converted into electricity to use later by the battery. As a result, each power unit supplies significant amounts of power using the bare minimum of fuel in the process. This makes our hybrids cleaner, quieter, and by the way, great to drive. Why do we believe that hybrid cars are the next immediate solution for the UAE? To start with, there's no need for additional infrastructure, which makes hybrid vehicles a quickly implementable solution that requires zero investment, beside the cost of purchasing the car. As a matter of fact, there's already a whole lineup of Lexus hybrid cars in the market, and they've been around since 2011, ranging from compact to full-size crossover and everything in between. And they're being enjoyed by individuals who choose to be different, who choose to contribute on their own toward a cleaner and sustainable future. The Lexus LS Hybrid displayed outside is a concrete example. On the Toyota side, we've been working very closely with the government, particularly with the Roads and Transport Authority, alongside several taxi operators from the government and private sectors, operating in Dubai, Sharjah and Abu Dhabi, to adopt new fleets of hybrid vehicles. At the moment, there are hundreds of Toyota Camry hybrid vehicles on the UAE roads today, giving passengers a comfortable, quiet, and energy and efficient transportation. But this has not come from nothing. We have been in talks with these stakeholders for years, and it's only after they saw the benefits for themselves that they have chosen to introduce this green vehicle to their fleets. In addition to that, we are in constant talks with key government departments, beside, of course, the Emirates Authority for Standardisation and Metrology, to explain to them the benefits of our hybrid technology. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, we invited a number of key government officials to Japan to visit Toyota Motor Corporation, factories and offices, and show them firsthand how serious Toyota takes sustainable energy and what the company's plans are in the long run. Recently, Toyota announced the Toyota Global Environmental Challenge for 2050. A challenge that dictates that not only to go beyond zero environmental impact, but also achieve a net positive impact. The goal is to reduce vehicle CO2 emissions by 90% in comparison with 2010 levels by 2050. To realise this, Toyota will promote the development of next-generation vehicles with low or zero CO2 emissions, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, electric and fuel cell vehicles, and further accelerate the spread of these vehicles. Toyota will also cooperate with relevant stakeholders to provide possible transport support as an automobile manufacturer toward the provision of the infrastructure for widespread adoption of these cars. That said, the goal for us here is to first embed hybrid vehicles into our transport ecosystem and look forward toward even greener technologies. Together, we can work toward achieving this goal. For 60 years, Al-Futtaim Motors has taken pride in moving the nation, embedding itself deep into the fabric of the UAE and staking its claim in the development of this great country. Al-Futtaim Motors' goal when the company first started was to help this country grow into a regional and global leader. And we've maintained that view for 60 years on, and as we look further toward another 60 years towards sustainable transport in the UAE. As part of our approach for the next 60 years, Al-Futtaim Motors is committed to working even more closely with the government and the authorities to speed up the sustainable transport initiatives working toward the UAE Vision 2021 for a greener future. Today, I lay down a challenge for all of us in attendance today, who hold the future of this nation dear to their heart, so let's work together toward a better future. The international community has seen the benefits of hybrid technology years ago. The faith that they put in the Toyota and Lexus hybrid cars has been translated into substantial growth of hybrid sales. Globally, cumulative Toyota and Lexus hybrid vehicle sales have surpassed 8 million, resulting in approximately 58 million fewer tons of CO2 emissions that would have been emitted by gasoline-powered engines of similar size and driving performance. Toyota also estimates that its hybrid vehicles have saved approximately 22 million kilolitres of petrol, enough to fill 8,800 Olympic swimming pools, compared to the amount used by gasoline-powered vehicles of similar sizes. Here in the UAE, we at Al-Futtaim Motors are doing well with our Lexus hybrid offering, but we can definitely do better. In order for us to do that, we need to help each other raise awareness about the uncompromised hybrid performance. Most importantly, we need to encourage our communities to decrease our greenhouse gas emissions and our over-reliance on fossil fuels. In a few days, we will be premiering a very impressive Toyota hybrid vehicle at the Dubai International Motor Show. And I'm talking about the 4th generation 2016 Toyota Prius, the first Toyota hybrid vehicle launched a little less than 20 years back in 1997. In a few moments, you will be able to get the very first exclusive preview of the Toyota Prius here at the conference. Trust me, this car will change the landscape of sustainable mobility in the UAE. This 4th generation Prius will establish new benchmarks in fuel economy, in addition to being the first model to use the new Toyota Global Architecture platform. Each successive Prius has delivered improvements in these areas, but the new model is aiming to make a big leap in performance and a target of improving CO2 emissions by 18%. By offering outstanding environmental performance in an affordable package, the Prius changed perceptions and has helped raise the status of alternative energy from niche products to game changers. As of July 31st, 2015, cumulative Prius sales exceed 3.5 million vehicles across approximately 80 countries and regions. Toyota, much like the United Arab Emirates, are visionaries. We started the hybrid revolution almost 2 decades ago, and the UAE has been a forerunner for all things green and eco-friendly in the region. Together, we have the power to make a significant change on the automotive landscape, one that will help us become less dependent on fossil fuels and more in tune with the needs of the nation and the world for green transport. But this is not the full story. Almost 1 year ago, the Toyota Motor Corporation launched the Toyota Mirai, the first hydrogen fuel cell vehicle that generates 0 emissions. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the real future of mobility. After all, Mirai is the Japanese word for future. Toyota started development of fuel cell vehicle technology in 1992. took just over 2 decades to perfect this technology and launch it in the marketplace. And today, it is a reality. We consider the Mirai to be an electric vehicle using an electric motor and a hydrogen-powered engine. This makes the car one of the world's most advanced electric vehicles, using 0 internal combustion and producing 0 carbon emissions. We're very, very fortunate today and proud to have with us the man behind the creation of this incredible car, Chief Engineer Shoichi Kaneko, who will tell you more about the car of the future shortly after the first break. But before, please welcome onto the stage Mr. Koji Nagata-san, General Manager for the Toyota Middle East and North Africa Division.